Good morning to one and all. In the previous class, we discussed about these preloading techniques. That means at a site itself, we need to have to apply these kind of preloads, and we have to employ these vertical drains on a particular fields to particularly dewatering purposes. That means whatever the water which is staggered on a particular field, so that the total water we need to remove on a particular time and particular field, so that we need to use these preloading techniques and dewatering methods to remove the total water whatever is present on a particular field itself, so that these methods are highly useful for dewatering techniques. First of all, these two methods, this preloading technique is highly compressible in nature. That means the nature of these loading techniques or method, this method is comparatively very high compressible. That means very compressive loads are applying on a particular soil cell itself, so that the total amount of voids or any other water or the total soil structure should be compressible. That means compressible whenever we applied a this kind of compressive load. Normally we are applying a compressive load on a particular concrete cube, so that the same principle is applying here to de-avoiding. That means de-avoiding the particular structures. Whatever the water is present on the structure, total water will be also removed due to these preloading techniques up to some levels. Next one, normally consolidated clay soils are having a limited or large depth. That means consolidated clay soil layers lie at a limited or large depths. We are having a total quantity of soil. This is the total quantity of the soil. This is the total depth. That means d value. By using these preloading techniques, we have to compress the soil up to particular depths only. This is not suitable for the entire depths. Okay, that is the main meaning of the second point. And next one, large consolidation settlements are accepted as the result of these loads from large buildings. Means whenever a huge amount of structure is there, due to those size and whatever the materials are used in the particular structure, the total weight will be expressed as a total load will be applied on a particular footing, so that due to the application of load on the particular footing, there may be some kind of settlements. So that to avoid those kind of settlements, nowadays we are using lightweight structures. That means the total slab itself, we are using these hollow core slabs and lightweight concrete materials like these fly ash bricks and other lightweight steel structures like aluminum panels. Normally we are using, in case of these wooden structure, wooden members whatever lie in the particular structure, we are using simply plywood. All those methods are to decrease the total amount of load which will be acting on a particular soil, so that indirectly we are decreasing the load. Means we are decreasing the settlements occurring on a particular soil. Okay, we need to think like that. Next one is these structures are highly useful in highway embankments. So that highway embankment, normally I will show one diagram. This is the normal highway, this is the embankment. That means whatever the portion which lies beside the particular highway, those are called as embankments. Those embankments gives huge amount of support to the particular road itself, so that huge amount of vehicles are moving on a particular roads, so that the total vehicles are moving with a high speed and velocity. The total speed and also where they are having some amount of weight, all those can be bared by the different soils lying on a particular field, so that to bear all those soils and where they we are having different kinds of stresses like shear stresses and compressive stresses are applying while the vehicles are moving on those particular embankments itself, so that we have to apply these preloading techniques and vertical lines in case of these highway embankments also. And next one is the earth dams. That means huge amount of water force is applying on these earth dams, so that in the embankments, normally dam we are looking like this. This is the particular dam. dam having the certain amount of these are all gates and others. Okay, we are having embankment like this. This is the embankments in the okay, the back side of the total dam having huge amount of water storing structure, so that the total dam is looking like that. These two are the 1 and 2 embankments, so that we need to use these preloading techniques and vertical drains to the embankments also in case of these dams and others. This is the explaining point. Next slide, we are having these preloading techniques. Mainly we are having this pre-compression and preloading methods are used in these techniques. Sand drains are also useful in these preloading techniques for dewatering techniques. Prefabricated vertical drains, that means prefabricated, that means the drains are already fabricated in the industries itself, so that those drains are employed in the fields. So whatever the field we are have to dewater, we need to do some sort of hole. So by using these mechanical equipments, after the holing is over, we need to employ these drains into the holes, so that the total whatever which total water which is lies on a particular soil is absorbed by these drains. Those are called prefabricated vertical drains. Vertical means along y-axis, that means those are perpendicular to the field itself. Horizontal means along x-axis, those lies along with the ground level, that means those are parallel to the ground, but these vertical drains are perpendicular to the ground. Next one is the vacuum consolidation and vacuum densification. That means vacuum means we are using a artificial force, as previously we discussed that vacuum cleaners are we are using, so that a huge amount of pressure is used to devacuum particular areas. That means the total vapor or any other waste or dust materials in the house itself, those are cleaned by using these vacuum cleaners, so that this principle is employed here to avoid, that means devoiding of the particular structures. Next thing is the preloading techniques. How this preloading is works, in what cases we are employing this preloading structure. First of all, it increases the soil bearing capacity. That means soil bearing capacity is very much useful for the particular structures to improve its lifespan and decrease the settlement properties, so that the soil bearing capacity is having huge much of response and others to the structures. Next one, it reduces the compressibility of the weak ground. That means compressibility means if the compressibility is more to the particular field, there may be huge amount of settlements in the particular soil after the construction of a building, so that to avoid those kind of settlements we need to have some preloading techniques. So I will show with this help of diagrams. This is the total ground level, that means it is the total ground level. I am using these fixed symbols to indicate the end of the particular ground level. We are constructed a particular apartment or any high rise structure, so that this structure having too much of foundations in the below ground level. If there is any application of external load on the structure, automatically there may be sinking of this with respect to these load applications. Okay, these are the settlements which was occurring on a particular structure due to different kinds of loads are acting on a particular structure, so that there may be automatically densification is low in particularly in cause of the soils, so that there may be a huge amount of settlements was occurring on a particular structure and below the strata level, soil strata. Next one, to reduce the compressibility of the weak ground, it is the main theme. That means if we have huge much of compressibility, there may be less amount of settlements. That means if you have reduced the compressibility means there may be a crack free structure we need to go achieve. This is achieved by placing temporary surcharge on the ground. That means surcharge means a particular kind of load will be applied on a particular ground level itself to achieve the temporary surcharge. Next one, surcharge is generally more than the expected bearing capacity. That means bearing capacity to particular soil is having some amount of bearing capacity. We are increasing the bearing capacity of a soil by using this surcharge principle. Normally the surcharge principle means heavy amount of loads and others are placed on a particular soils, so that automatically densification is done due to these loads and others. This kind of principle is also known as surcharging. That means simply we are charging a particular soil by placing a huge amount of load, so that there may be settlement and bond occurring on the particles whatever are there. In cohesionless soils and gravels, lowering of water table is most effective. That means cohesionless soils. Previously, we are dealt about this granular soil, but in case of these cohesionless soils, we need to have soil and gravel particles, so that we need to have to decrease this lowering of the water tables, whatever the water content is present on the particular soil or groundwater level and ground level we have discussed, so that we need to reduce these ground levels as much as possible for these conditions. And for a particular structure, it is constructed on a particular field, so that we need to have the data of groundwater level, at which depth the groundwater level is there, and our foundation level is up to which depth we are constructing, so that if there is a difference between the foundation level and groundwater level, these things also we need to have a clear cut idea. This is the total ground, this is the groundwater flowing, that means the groundwater depth, this is the ground level, the structure is lies, so that there is a foundation or any other piles, there may be some kind of depth we need to have, we need to maintain. Because of this, groundwater is having also permeability. If there is permeables in the above, automatically there may be a chance to entrainment to the foundation level. Automatically the entrainment of water is there, there may be huge amount of collapse and settlement will be occur due to this entrainment of groundwater up to foundation level, so that we need to have a clear cut information at what depth groundwater is located, at what depth our foundation is there in how much amount of distance between those 2 points, so that if there is a less quantity of distance, so that we need to remove whatever the soil present on the particular groundwater level, so that we have to fill with another kind of soil. Sometimes some amount of plasticizers we need to use to de entrainment of particular water up to foundation level itself. Okay, these 2 points are related to the point. Next one, preloading of soil is merely applicable to external loading for a long duration of cause desirable for changes of the soil. That means this preloading techniques is normally used for a long span of time. Normally these densification measures we observed that we are using these rollers and other things, that means mechanical equipment for a less span of time, and we are having huge amount of consolidation for a particular time period itself. That means we are using 2 days or 3 days simply to compact those particular soil depending upon the area availability conditions. Okay, but in case of this preloading techniques, we need to have to use these loading patterns for a huge span of time for attaining proper desirable changes into the soil. That means we have to wait for a particular span of time. The span of time is not decided depending upon the properties of the soil and temperature conditions on the groundwater table level and surrounding water content of the particular soils, and other different local parameters will be influencing these preloading techniques, so that we have to wait for a large span of time. And conventionally preloading is usually carried out before construction of any structure. However, this can be installed even under semi-finished conditions, and even in the completion, such as in case of liquid storage tanks. That means liquid storage tanks. Normally these liquid storage tanks are generally we observed in industries. That means in the industries itself they are having a huge amount of quantity of storage. Definitely for a oil industries and petroleum industries, sometimes in the recent past months, we are observing a huge amount of accidents are occurring on Vizag itself, so that the huge amount of gases and other things are also stored in these storage tanks for their future purpose. That means in the future itself they are having a huge amount of need to the industries, so that we have to use these storage tanks and other things. Next one, we have to use this thickness of the file of the fill placed for a particular preloading is greater than the required particular final ground surface of elevation. That means thickness of the fill plated for preloading is greater than that of required the final ground surface. The total structure is located at a particular depth. The ground and preloading techniques are applying on a particular level. There may be some difference between those two structures from the ground surface in terms of elevations and other conditions. Excess fill is termed as a surcharge fill. These things we need to locate in this diagram. Okay, in this diagram itself we are having a huge amount of preload. That means a particular soil we are having a huge amount of gaps. That means all those are vertical drains. That means vertical drain means they are perpendicular to the particular soil level. The total water whichever is in the particular soil itself, those are drained by using these vertical drains. So automatically above the vertical drains we are applying some amount of preload. The preload is shown with the help of this yellow color. That means the huge amount of load in terms of some amount of aggregates and some amount of waste material, and depending upon the density of a particular surrounding materials available on a particular field, all those materials can be dumped in a particular site, so that due to the dumping of the material there may be action of a load on the particular site itself, so that after the adding of this preload and others, the total water whichever lying on the particular field, the water will be comes outwards due to this preloading techniques. So that this preloading technique is having some amount of importance to remove the particular water. We are having a equi distance between these vertical drains, and below that we are having improved ground. All those are shown in the time help of this green color. The gap is whichever is color observed in the color of yellow color, and the total water is rising upward direction and drained in a particular. We are having water drainage facilities in the edges of the particular preloads. That means after the preload is there, some amount of drains, small amount of canals and other things are used to remove the particular water whichever is coming from the soils. Okay, this is the clear cut picture showing about this preloading and vertical drain philosophy. Next, what are the different methods of preloading? That means heaping of fill materials. Next one we are having is the embankment of loading. Third one we are having is the using the final structure as vehicle for the load application. First one means the heaping of the fill material. Heaping means normally this heaping is employed in the particular crop fields itself. Next one, embankment loading. Already embankment loading we discussed in case of these dams and other structures, and transporting roads. Embankments are were constructed to counteract the forces which are coming directly onto the structure. In the case of these vehicles are moving and other things, directly we are having shear stresses and compressive stresses. To negotiate those shear stresses and compressive stresses, we have to employ these methods of preloading techniques. Next thing we are having is applications of preloads with respect to the civil engineering works. It means wherever we have to apply these embankment principles and others. First of all, we need to apply these preloading techniques and vertical drains in case of road embankments, particularly because of in the roads itself we are having a huge amount of vehicular movement with a huge amount of speed. Normally we are having different kinds of roads: national highways, state highways, major district roads, other district roads, village roads, and others. So that with respect to all of those, we are having expressways nowadays. That means in the expressways itself, we are having a vehicular movement of 120 kilometers per hour. But in case of this national highways, we are having a vehicular movement of 100 kilometers per hour. Likely the vehicles are moving on a particular field itself, so that there may be a huge amount of forces are transferred to the particular soils, so that all those forces will be negligible, will have to encounter to zero. That means whenever there is a application of force, the force will be has to move to zero condition. Otherwise there may be definitely a crackings due to those application of the forces and others. Next one we are having is the bridge abutments and box culverts. Bridge abutment means definitely these bridge abutments were construct. This is a particular a bridge. Okay, all those other supports at particular entrance conditions and exit conditions, we are having these concrete lineups. Okay, those are called as the bridge abutments, and in some cases we are having these box culverts. That means whenever there is a combination of these two lanes, that means total railway lines and normal traffic conditions, we need to use these box culverts to divert the traffic. Okay, so that we have to use these bridge abutments and box culverts in those cases. Next one we are having these warehouses. In warehouses are the structures we are observed in the particularly in the purpose of dams, particularly dams we are having to store huge amount of water, and we are using those water to generate power. That means hydraulic power. In those hydraulic powerhouses normally we are using these warehouses. Okay, particularly in the warehouses itself we are using this philosophy. Next one, gravity comma quay walls. Gravity quay walls means these gravity quay walls are adopted in a particular hilly regions. That means wherever there is a roads are constructed along these hilly regions, there may be a chance of drop down of huge amount of mass onto the particular tracks of the road. So that to avoid those, we need to construct these gravity quay walls to counter those materials slidings. Next one, housing complexes. That means housing complexes means normally these housing complexes are nowadays we are having high rise structures, more than 20 stories and 30 stories are employed in these metropolitan cities and another newly developing cities. So that due to those heavy amount of loads are applied on a particular points itself, so that in a particular span of 1000 square feet or that means simply 3000 square feet or 4000 square feet, we are having a huge amount of structures are employed in those particular areas. Why? Because of due to this urbanization we are having a less quantity of area, and we need to have huge amount of people has to stay on those particular less quantity of area, so that we have to employ these high rise structures. In case of these housing complexes are belongs to these high rise structures. For those structures we need to use these preloading techniques. Next one is the runway. Runway means normally these runways are employed in airports. Why? Because of these runways are used to transfer a particular sudden loads onto the particular ground level. That means the helicopter is normally landing on a particular road surface. Wherever there is a free surface, the helicopter will lands in a particular smooth way. But in case of these aeroplanes and other army purpose aeroplanes, we are having a huge amount, we have to implement huge amount of tracks with different principles and alignments and elevations, so that we have to use these runways with these preloading techniques. Why? Because a sudden drop down of this aeroplane load to the structure, so that there may be a definite chance of settle downing of the particular amount of the land and these runways itself, so that we have to encounter these sudden settlements by implementing these preloading techniques and other waterworks onto the fields. Next one we are having these canals. Normally we are employing these canals with mud works. That means sloping is provided on a particular canals by trapezoidal patterns. Why? Because of this trapezoidal pattern is having huge amount of capacity of water to travel along these canals, so that these canals are using with a trapezoidal patterns normally for the purpose of transferring water from dams and other huge amount of water structures to the fields. But in case of these canals, we are having plenty amount of water is traveling throughout their year, so that if there is any entrainment of water onto the previous structure, so that there may be definitely chance to break down the particular structures parts. That means sides of the canal will be eroded, and some of the cases sides of the canals will be swelling and shrinkage. All properties are lies on those particular canals. Next one, we are having these industries. In the industries also, we have to use a high raised equipment with a huge amount of mass employed in a particular fields, so that these preloading techniques are useful in these industries also. Next one, what are the advantages in these preloaded structures? That means advantages means we need to have some kinds of advantages and disadvantages also. What are the advantages? First of all, we need to know cost involves in comparatively less. Why? Because of normally we are using a filling material. That means we are not have using any motor vehicles or any other mechanical equipments in the particular science. Normally we are using a huge quantity of filling material is filled on the particular land itself, so that automatically due to the excess amount of load which are applying on the particular soil, automatically water and settlement will be taking place without the help of manpower and other machine power, so that this is a somewhat cheap to other methods which are we are employing on a particular fields. It is a cheaper method compared to other methods. A 10 to 10% without using vertical drains, and 20 to 40% with the use of these vertical drains. That means vary between the cheapness will be varies between 10 to 20% without using vertical drains. That means without using vertical drains. Once again, I will show this picture. We are having this amount of totally 3 plus 7 vertical drains we are employed in a particular structure. This is the only cross section. That means we are having n number, whether it is a one layer. If we are having n number of layers, we need to multiply this 7 with n, so that we are having 7 into n vertical drains for particular section, so that we have to employ a different vertical drains in the particular fields. If the number of vertical drains is more, so that we are having a huge amount of constructional cost. That means we need to driven particular holes and others into the soil, so that water will be comes from those holes. Those water will be drained off. If we employ more number of vertical drains, it will be cost high. If we employ less quantity of vertical drains, it will be cost low. Those will be vary from 10 to 20% and 20 to 40%. Next point we are having is especially attractive when the fill material after completion of the preloading subsequently used in the same project as fill material after completion of the preload. That means normally for the different kinds of structures we have to employ a different filling materials after the basement of the work is over. That means normally we are using this ground works. After the groundwork is over, we need to fill the ground with another materials. That means another materials are normally we are using in the pre-state only. That means we have to employ this ground material in the filling purpose, so that the material cost also will have to save up to some content. Next one, cost of monitoring equipment is cheap, and time needed for the installation is only 1 to 3 weeks. That means the cost of monitoring equipment is cheap. That means normally this monitoring means now we are using these dumpy levels and other for settlement purpose, and other small things are used. But in case of this preloading techniques and vertical drains, normally we are having previously different methods for dewatering techniques and consolidations and settlements, so that we are having large quantity of equipment with daily huge amount of cost is employed to those materials and manpowers for skilled labor and those mechanics machines and others who have to bear huge amount of money for the consolidation purpose. For this kind of preloading and others, we have to use a less quantity of amount and less quantity of labor. We don't have to use skilled labor and others. All those works can be completed within 2 to 3 weeks. That means within a span of 21 days, from 14 days to 21 days, we have to complete this phenomena of work. Next, it provides a uniform improved properties on the ground. That means by using these preloading techniques, we have to gain a particular soil with improved properties. Next one, up to now we are using this preloading techniques. After that, we are having preloading techniques and vertical drains. After that, we are using this sand drains. That means sand drain means, normally drain means a particular slope is employed on the particular soil strata. To drain means removing of whatever the water presenting on the particular fields, so that these drains are used for the removing of water. But in case of these sand drains, normally sand having a property of bulking with absorbing of surrounding water, so that this sand is used in the particular drains to rapid removal of water. Sand drains is basically a hole drilled in a particular cohesive soil and filled with the sand. That means whatever the strata we are having, in those strata we need to have to choose a particular fields. That means we have to employ into the grids. We are having a idea on these grids. That means this is the total structure whatever we are having. In this total structure we need to divide into number of grids, so that in the each and every grid we need to encounter a particular drains. That means here we are having totally 4 by 4. That means we are having 16 parts. In those 16 parts, frequently we have to use this particular one sand drain. That means we need to have to use this sand drain. Up to now we are observing only top level, but in case of this we have to observe this side. Means these 4 are the different sand drains. That means this is the diameter of the particular sand drain. In this particular diameter we have to driven the total material which is available on the particular diameter of the surface. In those diameter itself we need to pour this sand. That means whatever the sand which is available on the particular fields or surrounding areas, so we need to carry those sand and we have to fill in the particular holes, so that the total sand will be filled in the hole. Whatever the matter, that means water content is present in the particular fields, the total water is absorbed by these sand drains. Next one is since the sand has a large particle size, that means sands having large particle size compared to normal clayey soils, granular soils and cindery soils, so that the total amount of water will be attracted by these voids present in the sand particles, so that the voids can be filled by this water. After the filling of these voids, we need to simply remove total water which are present in the particular sand drains. Next one we are having as shown the below array. It is a particular diagram for constructing a particular sand drains in a particular fields. Okay, in the previous diagram I showed with the help of the small dotted lines, but in case of here we are having a installation of sand drains, how the sand drains are installed in a particular field itself. We are having a surcharge load on the top of the particular soil. Below the soil we are having these sand drains. Those sand drains are used by using these different pouring techniques. Okay, then the below also we are having a different that means different terms are described to show the particular figure. Soft compressive slow drainage soils. After that below we are having these sand drains and firm soil and piezometers. Normally these piezometers are used to measure whatever the flowing water is there or any other. But in case of the settlements, we are having settlement problems and benefits required and alignment strikes. All those are measured on the top of the layer. And in the sides we are having piezo gauges. That means how much amount of water is moving on the particular sand rains, how much quantity of the water is staggered on the particular sand drains also they are collecting from the these piezometers and piezo gauges. Next thing we are having is that the load shown in the above embankment such as used in the highways and other additional or surcharge loads is used to spread the particular drainage process. That means previously we discussed about these preloading techniques. Likely in this sand rains also we are using some amount of surcharge load onto the particular soil. So those due to the surcharge load and other things whatever are employed on the particular field, the total load will be acts on the particular field so that water will be coming onto these sand drains easily. Next thing, the excess of water is collected from the top of the directed away to the particular job site. Means whatever the water is collecting onto the sand drains, those are simply coming to the topward direction because of surcharging load. The total water will be collected and drained by using some amount of small canals maintained on the particular field itself. The excess water is collected on the top surface. Next one, the tricky part comes onto the getting sand drains into the particular ground. The obvious solution to this is simply drill the holes and fill them with sand, but the soil is soft, water is frequently holes will collapses. That means if the soil is so soft, automatically whenever we drive a particular holes onto the fields, automatically those driven material will be collapsing onto the soil. So that we need to take care particular precautionary measures while driving the holes onto the soil itself. Okay, we need to take care some amount of precautionary measures while we are drilling the soils. Why? Because due to these soil properties, the soft soils means they are having huge amount of binding properties. Whenever we are removing a particular amount of material, automatically the surrounding materials also having stick to the particular soil, so that those are also coming while the material is removing. Next one is sand wicks. How these sand wicks are provided? A cursory examination of the particular process for the sand drains shows the procedure for fairly involvement. That means a particular procedure is employed into the particular sand drains to remove the water. Those things are fairly involved in these sand wicks. It invites a simplification at least some applications. That means some amount of applications by using these density principles and physical principles. That means gravity and other things are employed in these things. All those things we need to know using different pictorial representations. First of all, a sand drains is just what is the name implies. That means the sand drains, what is the name implies the total meaning. The sand is draining the water whichever present in the particular soil itself, so that those name comes as a sand drains. A geosynthetic rope usually about 100 mm wide and 5 mm thick. That means a geosynthetic rope is used in this particular sand drains. Those rope is interconnecting from one sand drain to another sand drain. Why? Because of there may be some amount of transfer of water from one wick to another wick, so that we need to have some amount of bonding those bricks, the wicks, not bricks, wicks. So that to create a bond between those wicks, we need to provide this amount of geosynthetic rope, usually 100 mm wide and 5 mm thick. That means 100 mm wide means the length and thickness. Next one, which is acts as a highly permeable material to conduct water flow of the particular soil to the surface. That means whatever the water is present on the particular soil, those will be permeable from these geosynthetic ropes in the same manner as takes place in the sand drains. So that the same principles also we are using these sand drains also. As in case of these sand drains, they are installed in a array, generally in a 3 meter spacing. That means previously I shown that a array of these lines. Array means normally a matrix. We are having these array like principles, one row, one column, so that all the rows having parallel, so that all the water will be drained in a particular smooth pattern. But in case of this construction of these arrays, we need to use these slope conditions. Why? Because in the primary array first point we have to use a huge amount of height. Second point, we need to use less quantity of height, so that we need to decrease the height to flowable properties. If we are maintained a parallel lines, means there may be no movement of water, so definitely there may be some amount of slope we have to maintain to drag the water from one to another and to another to another. So those things will be